Subtitles. So, the three of them were bustlingly working together to attend to this difficult task with differing attitudes, and this scene resembled a death symphony. The optimized employees were summoned for talks, and the whole group announced 4,000 layoffs, causing a rush to pack up their luggage. "Hey, old monkey, pick up the phone, hurry." They didn't leave, they just gathered secretly, everyone discussing the company patch-up. The atmosphere was as tense as a pot in the fire. Some heard about the protests and felt a little happy. Protesting could be a good idea, let's spice it up a bit. Subtitle: he stood out alone in his white striped outfit with black letters, prompting an emergency HR meeting to decide who'd douse the flames. Facing tech department experts, everyone nervously swallowed. The air turned awkward as Old Who raised his hand. "I have nothing to do, I'm just here to call names okay." Employee Relations Department, bravely taking responsibility. Such spirit is worth learning from. "You go discuss the Youngson's optimization issue, it'll give you a 10% buffer." "Got it, I'll make sure it's done." The two were frowning over it, but he remained cheerful, seemingly clueless, putting down his chair-fixing tools. Viewed as a threat, he felt nervous, but his backpack phone live streamed all while Old Who ignored any docs. He tirelessly handed out paperwork with a smile, being suspected of having a smile with a knife. "If it weren't for my age, there's no way it would be me." "Age has nothing to do with it, it's your turn." Blunt meeting left everyone stunned. The prospect of layoffs was already upsetting, and anger broke through that person's panic. "Let's cut to money," Little Horse said, drawing all eyes, as the senior staff flatly refused the 5. "Fair. I'm asking for 20%. "Oh dear, the company is facing some difficulties. As a veteran employee, I should set an example. Don't self-sabotage, I'm sticking with 10%. 10% is already a good deal." "Okay, it's 10%. No one expected the layoffs would go so smoothly, and Old Who was as excited as if he was on a caffeine high, rummaging through banners. "Congratulations to Comrade Zhu Yongsun on a 10% raise." Everyone stood there, completely flabbergasted. Factories and workers are like a married couple. They need to understand each other and not just focus on how well the factory is doing. Don't just blame workers for aging, while longing for the young. It feels wrong. Why does that sound like a jab at me? I mean, are you guys really promoting and giving me a raise? What else would it be? Congratulations, a big weight has finally dropped. He quickly stood up his backpack. After slamming the table, he gripped Old Who's hands. No one expected such generosity from the group. Only Little Horse and another employee were worried about their jobs. "What do you mean by this?" He said, "It's going to change tonight. I don't want to get blown away. I need to be careful." "Bring it on." He took off his badge, awaiting the boss rage, as Old Who beamed. He sighed in disbelief how simple this task was, clearly a hot and cold situation. Another VP joked, "Such a blunder has never happened in the HQ industry before. It's downright embarrassing for the..." But Old Who had connections, and he certainly wouldn't sit idly by. Sure, there were faults, but don't forget, he volunteered for this. Such spirit is commendable. "Enough of the noise," the director said, going against the flow, and began to praise Old Who. In a situation where employees united against layoffs, Old Who's actions successfully split the opposing emotions. After this live stream, various departments began to cooperate actively, promoting an extensive plan. "Can you explain how you decided this? Isn't optimization supposed to mean improvement?" "What? I think he has a point." Everyone stood up and then sat down together again. Zhu made a classic workplace speech, indirectly pointing at the incapable ones. In everyone's eyes, Old Who was considered an out. "What exactly did I get wrong? The lineup is still continuing on." Old Who got promoted over this, and a grassroots worker actually shared a last name with the chairman. Rumors started flying in the company that Old Who and the chairman were indeed relatives. That couldn't be true. Old Who became the head of Group Gift. He successfully replaced Little Horse but remained laid back, respecting all leadership decisions, though to be fair. Faced with someone well connected, he truly felt powerless. You don't know that he's actually a keen learner. "I have lots of my own ideas. Everyone says a new leader brings the heat." The group directly issued a redhead document requiring Old Who to train all mid-level managers, cranking up the intensity. For Old Who, there were just limited things he could teach. Countless nights were spent tossing and turning in thought. "What exactly can I teach?" Did the group take notice of my rare talents? At the command, everyone started preparing, and Old Hugh patrolled around like a master craftsman. Whenever he spoke, everyone felt there was a hidden message, working hard till the night. They finally awaited the chairman, who reminisced about the days at the Standard Factory, as he had once been the manager there, while Old Hugh stared at him in a